Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS Inform. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Today we're going to meet Kiersten Knies. She is running for Dubois County Clerk. Kiersten, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you. Now, we do with all of our candidates. We want to find out a little bit about yourself. So tell us, who is Kiersten Knies?
My name is Kiersten Knies. I'm the daughter of Mike and Marcia Heil. I'm married to Jason Knies. He is the son of Jeannie and Joe Knies. Jason works for Cave Quarries. We live in Jasper. We have 5 children ranging in age from 1 to 14, and they're all girls.
Poor Jason.
I know.
Tell us, what are your qualifications for office of Dubois County Clerk?
I graduated from Indiana University with a double major in political science and sociology. After graduation, I came back to Jasper and went to work for Kimball office as a contract administration specialist for state and local government contracts. And then it's almost been 7 years, I went to work for Judge Weichert at Dubois Circuit Court as a court reporter, and then in 2016 for Judge Verkamp. As court reporter, I have worked closely with many other state and local agencies, the Indiana Department of Correction, the prosecuting attorney, the sheriff's department. I've worked with other departments in the building. I learned a lot about trial court technology. I learned a lot about the legal process. And I also became very familiar with our county's case management system.
Now, what possessed you to run for office for Dubois County Clerk?
Well, as court reporter, I did work very closely with the clerk's office, and while working with them, I noticed some things that I thought could use improvement, and I thought possibly with my background in education and experience that I could help in those improvements. And then I think what really sealed the deal for me was in 2015, I served as court reporter on the recount of the mayoral election that ended in a tie. And at that point, I think I realized how important the clerk's office was in the election process. And then as a judicial employee, I found out that I couldn't run for office without quitting my job. So in January of this year, I decided after a lot of consideration that I would take the leap. I felt that confident that it was something I wanted to do, that I quit my job in January and filed for candidacy.
And so you've been running ever since now?
Basically,
yes. What are issues or concerns, it might be a weird word to use, for the clerk's office?
I think one of the most important things I'd like to address is that a couple of years ago the county went to an electronic filing system, so all the motions and pleadings and orders that come through the clerk's office have to be electronically filed. And the current program that they use, for lack of a better term, is clunky. And the state offers a program called Odyssey, which is free to the county. It interfaces with a lot of other state agencies. It's State Board of Accounts approved. It will take some of the burden off of the local attorneys. I'd like to help the county transfer to Odyssey in the most efficient and painless manner, basically. And also, I think as clerk, one of the most important roles is the election process. And I think it's important to try to increase voter participation in Dubois County. And I think the best way to do that is to increase the level of integrity in the election process and also increase voter participation. I have found through running and talking to different people that a lot of people really are intimidated by voting. And I think that voter education is the best way to combat that. I think it's important for people to know who they're voting for, what role that position plays, what their duties are, and how their vote impacts the community. And I also think it's important for people to be educated about the process. You know, if you don't vote in a primary, you may have questions, and you might think that you're too intimidated to ask any questions, that there's no one that you can ask. So I think voter education is really important to increase voter turnout. And also, I had a gentleman tell me recently that if you don't vote when you're 18, you're not going to vote for life. So I think getting the youth involved is really important to increase voter participation as well.
Okay, now any final thoughts? We're going to let you look right at the viewers and tell them why they should vote for Kiersten Knies.
I think that as candidate for Dubois County Clerk, I understand the importance of running a nonpartisan election. I am a Democrat. I am running on the Democrat ticket, but I know that once in office that it's important to run a nonpartisan election. And I also want to state that my intentions are very sincere, that I love Dubois County. I'm a proud lifelong resident of Dubois County. I'd like to increase integrity within the clerk's office and service within the clerk's office to better serve Dubois County. I think that for me, that's more than just a job. It's something I'm very passionate about. So I would appreciate if you vote Kiersten Knies for clerk in the fall. Thank you.
Kiersten, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Our guest has been Kiersten Knies. She is running for Dubois County Clerk in the election. Whether you vote early or on November 6th, please make sure that you do go and vote. It is not only a right, it is a privilege to vote in the U.S. Kiersten, thank you for being our guest.
Thank
you for watching WJTS. We're local people watching local people.